Hello and welcome to We, Me and Us. We are delighted to have you here as we dive into the exciting journey of leading, coaching and transforming organizations in our rapidly changing world. I'm Pierre Neis, your host and agile coach. I'm truly passionate about sharing real-world insights with those eager to create meaningful change. At We, Me and Us, we're all about exploring new tools and perspectives that inspire impactful transformation. Let's embark on this journey together. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome on the We, Me and Us podcast. Today we have my good friend Alex Gafner here, and I believe Alex is a very interesting mate. He does a lot of very interesting things, but most of all, he is here. Let's ask him, hey, Alex, who are you?
Hey, Pierre. I'm happy to be here. I call myself now a human-centered physicist, but that's a little bit along my journey. So I grew up in 5 countries.
Human-centric physicist, this hurts, right?
How does it hurt? How does it hurt? So for me, it's natural, but I usually have to explain myself a little bit because for people, it's not so self-understanding.
Yeah. So go ahead, please do.
So, I grew up in 5 countries. So I was very cross-cultural. I decided to study physics. I wanted to understand why we don't collapse within it ourselves if positive and negative charges attract, right? So I got to understand that. Then I got to start working, and I thought, okay, I don't understand how a bunch of people work together. That's when I then did an MBA. But I did a lot of good choices from the human centricity side. Like I was doing profiling personas and thinking about journeys before I knew that this existed. So I was kind of taking like the most difficult people, making them part of the project. So I was even tackling change and transformation pretty much from early on. That's why I started to understanding that actually this physics, systems thinking, kind of holistic thinking together with a strong human-centric focus is very powerful.
Very well. So we used to work together in the same company, and we interact on several projects. This is how we start to learn each other a little more, so you can understand who is this bizarre Pierre guy, and then I discover who is that bizarre Alex guy. And so in our bizarreries, we found ourselves very linked. For the record, we also both of us, we are mostly living in Zurich, in Switzerland. So we try to build something together, but everyone with his own taste, with his own flavor, and that's very good. So for the audience, and also for myself, to be quite sure, not just saying nonsense here on the record. What are you really doing?
Well, that's a very good question, right? So I've had my own kind of transitions in finding kind of the place where I'm the best. And for that, so now I'm running kind of a portfolio. I'm have a B2C, so I'm coaching and helping people kind of uncover their unique strengths and applying those, making a contribution, understanding how they collaborate, improve their collaboration, how they improve their influence, and how they lead. This is like a B2C where I'm helping people. It is a little bit, I have been pivoting. So I started kind of more with career reinvention, but the career in the reinvention is kind of a byproduct. If somebody has an aspirations to use their strengths better and to be better team player and to be also a better leader, because at the end, a highly effective team can just exist if people have self-awareness and they are also empowered and can be really like leaders, right? For the B2B part, it's a bit of symbiosis from my my history, which was a lot with product management and technology development, technology transfer, and then more in the area of digital and digital transformation. And there it comes together with, for me, like with the human-centric innovation systems, which includes also agility, right? That's why we love to discuss with Pierre, because Pierre with agile organizations, so we rip apart concepts and think, how could we make this different? Where are some things we could tweak? Where are the levers we could maybe turn that it still starts going in the right direction?
Absolutely.
It's human, it's messy. I love it.
It's human, it's messing. I love it, and I live in Zurich. What's the matter here? What attention? This is crazy. But in fact, what is? Let's explain. Okay, I have a guess. I know you quite well, and we interact a lot, pretty much. So there's no biases here. I try to be very, very honest. But when you say human-centric, what does it really mean for those who has no clue about, or may just have a glimpse of what it should be?
So I still think that we are like we should be. So we are doing solutions or working from humans for humans at the end, right? So I had once a professor from physics, and we had the discussions about, hey, we have to take care of nature. And he had a good point, because he said, no, actually, we don't have to take care of nature. We have to take care of ourselves. If we screw up the planet, we don't have the time. We will be screwed up. But nature has time. It will just wait it out, and it will fix itself. So nature doesn't have a problem. We have a problem if we don't take care of our planet, right?
Good angle. Very good angle. I love it. I love it. That's, yeah. And I just wanted to ask you something else. So we are interacting with a lot of coaches, who have maybe coaching skills, not really well trained, not using particular techniques. I believe you are a very professional coach. So you are using coaching techniques, because I knew you get certified from a coaching group just after getting certified by myself. Indeed, that's for the joke. But you're using a coaching technique, which sounds quite intriguing for me. Can you tell me a little bit more about this?
Yeah, so it's neuro-linguistic programming. So I've been like running workshops and transformations, and so I've been like, I understood many things about people like intuitively, like for example, time boxing, right? So with time boxing and maybe applying some pressure, what you make is actually that you influence the energy expenditure in the brain, and you take energy from our rational thinking into intuitive thinking. And actually, for some things, we want to use intuitive thinking. So our unconscious mind is about, so 95% of the decisions we make are made in the unconscious mind and not in the conscious mind. And in the conscious mind is the language. That's why we also struggle to express ourselves, our feelings, what we really mean. If we decide and we cannot explain it, it's because of that, right? And neuro-linguistic programming has really a good angle, which comes like nice and handy for me, because you look at it as a software. So you have your front end, this will be your rational brain, and you have like the back end and the OS, which is kind of the unconscious brain. And you might have some programming errors, right? Which could be called limiting beliefs. It can be fears, frustrations, failures, things like that. And you can work with those in order to kind of reprogram them, so you can have a better life and be more empowering and more forceful.
So let me wrap up a little bit, or maybe just jump on a question raising up my mind in the conversation when I'm listening to you. Is, does it mean that everyone who has an NLP training can be a coach like you?
I don't think so. So I think the NLP is a very good technique, and probably there are some people that go very deep even into trauma That's probably not my field. It's also understanding what is not my field. But the combination of all my innovation funnel methodologies, which is agile design thinking, and the systemic thinking, that at the end is a systems problem, right? So you want to come from the current state to a future state. So you have to redesign the system, and just the unconscious mind has a quite a big part in that play. And to be able to then still also tackle that ones, then it's very helpful. One thing which is kind of at my core, let's say, why statement is unlocking the potential of people, is I have just a joy of seeing like talents materialize into strengths and seeing shining. And this has started when I was in my young age, when I was having punk rock, ska, metal bands, where I was kind of just setting the stage and the energy so that the others could shine. And the same I did also in projects where maybe some developers could shine, or for some leaders, where some leaders could shine. So that's kind of what I strive for.
Yeah, we had I remember quite fun moments we had together on some projects. Yeah, because you're not calming me down, and you're not calming. I don't calm you down. So it's for the audience quite interesting and frustrating for other coaches with absolutely calm with huge results, right? But my question to you again, but I know it, honestly, I know it, but I want you to tell it. What makes Alex, you, so special?
Well, I think I'm unique. I would distinguish that I'm not special, so I'm not better than anybody else. Everybody has really unique gifts, but I have a depth of understanding my uniqueness, or my gifts, my strengths, and being able to apply, and also to influence the system that I'm able to apply them. In corporate jobs, sometimes it's quite difficult because it's too rigid, too much control, right? So this cannot happen, but I've learned how to use that and put it in place. Right.
Yeah,
so
that's a hard question, right? Based out of our cultures, right? So what makes you unique? It sounds like to be very egocentric. Maybe we're sharing some background. So for us, culturally, is very, very hard to say. To say, are you the best? You can never tell, but you have to be very pragmatic, because the special. I don't want to compare us. Let's say you, but include myself. So I would is what is, if we consider as a tool, what people should come to you, right? I can say why I should come to you, right? Because you're open-minded, you're not dogmatic, you're a friendly person, and because I feel this Colombian vibes, this kind of gentle, family-friendly approach. It's not too rigid, not thinking about structure, not going deep into the architecture of the mindset and all the kind of theories. So practical. And this is the thing I love with you. And yes, and this is good that you're choosing, because we are also all the time switching our careers. We're all the time applying to ourselves what we try to help our customers, maybe teaching or educating our customers how to manage in volatility, uncertainty, complexity, adaptability. So I did the word VUCA, indeed, in our world, because it's everything changing. So we're walking the talk. And just to let you know, so for the podcast, because I don't want to make it too long, that for me, you're some kind of not a preacher, not a marketer, even if you have a marketing background, but I don't have the feeling you're selling your stuff all the time, right? And I don't know if you guys, the listeners in the podcast here, the very few doing it, you love it. Personally, I hate it. I love people coming with a different thinking. I love people with not the tools. I don't care about the tools. So a hammer looks out like another hammer. Maybe you have the new hammer. That's fine. And AI, which is a big trend nowadays, it won't change how the people are working together. So human-centric, very, very good. I love it, absolutely. And yeah, I think this is the price you make a difference. Now a question, a very last question for you. No, not the last question. I will have another question afterwards. I have this question now for you, Alex. How do you want to change the world?
So at the end, I've thought a lot about how I create impact. And this has been like in the first part of my career. I was quite successful, but I was also unsuccessful in terms of impact, right? So what I could move, right? Especially when it went more into kind of operational excellence, cutting costs. There, I was really feeling I'm not really doing much.
Yeah.
But how I can change the world is through people. So if I help people that they understand what they are capable of, because this is from my experience, also looking at kind of strengths-based, that most of the people maybe use 30% of what they really could provide. And it has to do with our school structures, it has to do with our university structures and working structures, that we actually are not looking for what we are really good at. And these gifts, they are carrying with us. So these character skills, they are part of us, but we are not using that. So if I can tap into that, I think it will be quite a big contribution to this world, because that means that people will be happier with themselves and more fulfilled, and also not running on fumes, because they will be working with their strengths, that gives them energy. That means they will be getting home, and they will have the freedom and mental space to really connect with their loved ones, which is probably then the big impact.
Mm-hmm. So I dived a little bit deeper here with a little bit of provocation, but you know me.
Of course.
Now you are Thanos. You know Thanos, the bad guy in Avenger who snapped the finger, it changed everything. You have this kind of power. You have the superpower of to change everything. What would you change now on this second? What would you like to do? Thank you for your answer.
I probably would make I probably would make money disappear.
Oh, yeah. Like in Star Trek. Have you seen Star Trek?
Yeah.
So if you take Star Trek is very interesting, a point. Sorry, here comes the geek out of me. But Star Trek is a very interesting because they just move the money out of the place. And it's a very interesting concept. Yeah, it's quite good. Very interesting. And so thank you so much, Alex. I try to keep it short because, and I try not to promote myself. It's not the interest. I love to work with you. I love to continue working with you. I will invite other people like you, maybe some people you already know. And also we will explain also in this podcast, I will explain the experiments that I run like the last 6 months, agile organization transformation, when we make these transformative learning sessions across the Balkans and Germany, every week. I just arrived yesterday from Skopje in North Macedonia. With huge impact on transformation. And this is also what we will do together in Zurich next year. But we will prepare, I think we should give also maybe an audience the possibility to learn a little bit more about you, not only about me at all, but what can you give away? What can be the next steps if people want to learn more about you and maybe what are you doing?
Now I had an idea, but I just changed it. So let's be spontaneous.
Yeah.
So I'm awesomely good at designing awesome workshops. So why don't we make a vote? Maybe we look for 5 different topics, and the audience can vote what type of workshop they want, and we make a workshop like that, a 2-hour free workshop session, something
free
like
workshop session proposing 4 or 5 different scenarios, and the audience selects the scenarios they want. Is that your idea?
Yeah.
Oh, sounds interesting, fun. Okay, so very much great session. I loved it. Alex, I wish you Merry Christmas, because we record this in December the 14th, and it will be online in Jan. So, but anyways, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everyone on the call. This is what you used to do. We are using the traditional Western European calendar. For those having another calendar, so Happy New Year in the future. And thank you so much, and enjoy your holidays, like I will enjoy mine.
Same. So we will be in touch, and 2025 we will rock, I'm pretty sure of that.
Absolutely. Good. Thank you so much for joining us at We Win Us. We are excited to be on this journey with you as we support your growth as a leader and change maker, helping you build resilient and agile organizations. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd be grateful if you could share it or connect with us on social media. And if you or someone you know has valuable insights to share, please reach out. I'd be thrilled to feature them. Until next time, keep evolving and stay inspired.